Every single car company in the world, not just Ford, is losing money selling electric vehicles, except for Tesla.
Lincoln is on a brink of collapse and facing its final curtain call. After surviving decades of crises, Ford's latest move seals the fate of this legendary luxury brand. From crafting V12 engines for presidents and titans of industry to becoming a shadow of its former self, Lincoln's fall is one of the most shocking stories in automotive history. How did Lincoln go from symbolizing American luxury to barely hanging on? What does Ford's latest decision mean for the brand's survival? And why should you care? Let's dive in. What's happening? This bold statement stems from Lincoln's struggle to adapt to modern automotive trends and an ever-changing market. Ford's latest move signals a turning point in the brand's history, an end that many saw coming, but no one wanted to accept. Lincoln's fall is startling. After decades of ups and downs, the brand now finds itself at a crossroads, unable to keep up with modern demands. The decision by Ford to reshape or potentially phase out Lincoln underscores the gravity of its current situation. This isn't just a company on the decline, it's a once great institution in the automotive world grappling with an uncertain future. So where did this statement come from? Why is Lincoln facing this dire fate, and why should you care? Let's take a closer look at the reasons behind this downfall. The repeated downfalls. The problem lies in Lincoln's inability to evolve. For decades, the brand has faced one crisis after another. Despite early successes, including the luxury of the Continental Mark II, Lincoln repeatedly stumbled in its attempts to redefine itself. In the 1950s, extravagant spending almost bankrupted the company, while the 1990s global expansion efforts through Ford's premier automotive group left Lincoln without clear direction. But the modern era has introduced challenges no one predicted. The rise of electric vehicles, coupled with shifting consumer expectations for sustainability and advanced technology, has left Lincoln lagging behind. Other luxury automakers like Tesla and Cadillac have embraced these trends, while Lincoln has failed to adapt. Its lineup remains stuck in the past, with outdated designs and a lack of innovation. The absence of a flagship electric vehicle further exacerbates the issue, making Lincoln irrelevant to today's environmentally conscious buyers. This problem is also tied to Ford's management decisions. Ford's lack of consistent support for Lincoln, particularly during crucial periods of technological change, has hindered the brand's ability to innovate. Without a clear identity or future-focused strategy, Lincoln finds itself struggling to compete in an increasingly competitive and fast-evolving market. The ripple effects. Lincoln's struggles aren't just a problem for the company, they're a warning sign for the automotive world. When a legacy brand like Lincoln falters, the ripple effects extend far beyond its dealerships. For one, fewer players in the luxury market mean less competition. This drives up prices across the board, even for non-luxury vehicles. Lincoln's decline has allowed competitors like Cadillac, Tesla, and European automakers to dominate, reducing the options available to consumers. Additionally, Lincoln's inability to adapt to the EV market signals a larger issue for buyers. If traditional automakers can't keep up, consumers may find themselves with limited choices for affordable, reliable electric vehicles. This could lead to higher prices, longer wait times, and fewer incentives as automakers focus on higher margin luxury models instead of catering to average buyers. Then there's the issue of resale value. A struggling brand like Lincoln means lower demand for its vehicles, which directly affects trade-in values. If you own a Lincoln, you might already feel the sting of depreciation, especially in a market where EVs are rapidly gaining favor. As Lincoln continues to fade, the impact on car buyers, resale values, and market competition will only grow. But the real question is whether Lincoln's decline is just the beginning for other legacy brands. Where does Lincoln stand now? In the 2010, Lincoln tried to rebrand itself with a focus on SUVs. Models like the Navigator and Aviator hinted at a revival, but the loss of the iconic town car and the lack of exciting sedans alienated its loyal customer base. Then came the EV revolution. While Cadillac launched the sleek Lyric and Tesla dominated the luxury EV market, Lincoln lagged behind. Plans to collaborate with Rivian on an electric SUV were scrapped, leaving Lincoln with no viable EV offerings. Today, Lincoln's lineup consists of just 4 SUVs, only 2 of which are hybrids. With dwindling sales and no halo vehicle to capture public attention, Lincoln feels like a brand stuck in the past. Electric vehicles and the missed opportunity. The automotive industry is undergoing the most significant transformation since the invention of the internal combustion engine. Electric vehicles are no longer a niche market. They are becoming the backbone of the industry's future. For Lincoln, this shift represents both a missed opportunity and a harsh wake-up call. In the late 2010s, Ford made a bold investment in an up-and-coming electric vehicle manufacturer called Rivian, pouring more than $500 million into the company. At the time, there were plans for Rivian's innovative skateboard platform, essentially a base structure for electric vehicles, to underpin a new generation of Lincoln models. These electric vehicles were supposed to be Lincoln's ticket to relevance in the 21st century. However, the partnership fizzled out during the global pandemic. Ford shifted its focus to developing its own electric vehicle platforms, while Rivian went on to launch its first models independently. By the time Ford sold off its stake in Rivian in the year 2023, it had reported losses exceeding $5 billion. This left Lincoln with no electric vehicles to showcase in a market where over 30% of luxury car sales now come from battery-powered models. The absence of an electric vehicle offering is a glaring problem for Lincoln. Cadillac, Lincoln's longtime rival, has already made significant strides with its all-electric Celestiq and Lyriq models. These vehicles are not just functional, but are designed to attract attention and symbolize the brand's forward-thinking identity. Lincoln, meanwhile, remains stuck with 4 aging sport utility vehicles, only 2 of which offer hybrid options. Consumers have taken note. Without a flagship electric vehicle, Lincoln risks becoming irrelevant to a new generation of buyers who see electric power as essential, not optional. In an era where electric vehicles dominate the conversation, Lincoln's silence is deafening. The global pivot. In recent years, Lincoln has turned its attention overseas, particularly to China, where the brand still holds a measure of prestige. The Chinese market has shown an affinity for Lincoln's legacy of luxury, leading to the launch of models like the revived Zephyr sedan. This model, specifically tailored to Chinese tastes, features a sleek design and cutting-edge technology aimed at capturing the attention of affluent buyers. This global pivot is a clear attempt by Ford to salvage what remains of Lincoln's relevance. However, it raises an uncomfortable question. Can a luxury brand survive if it abandons its home market? Lincoln's roots are deeply tied to American culture. From presidential motorcades to Hollywood films, the Lincoln name has long symbolized American luxury and craftsmanship. Its shift in focus to China may ensure short-term survival, but risks eroding its identity as an American institution. The implications for consumers are significant. A Lincoln brand that caters primarily to international markets may no longer prioritize the needs and preferences of American buyers. This could result in a lineup that feels out of touch with its core audience, further alienating the loyal customers who have supported the brand through decades of ups and downs. For the global luxury vehicle market, Lincoln's pivot to China highlights the growing importance of international audiences in shaping automotive trends. It also underscores the challenges American brands face in competing with European and Asian automakers who have long dominated the luxury segment. The reality of decline. The numbers tell a sobering story. In the year 2023, Lincoln's sales were the lowest they had been in 2 decades. This was not just a result of the global economic downturn or supply chain disruptions. It was the culmination of years of mismanagement, missed opportunities, and an inability to adapt to changing market demands. Ford's decision to strip Lincoln's lineup of sedans in favor of sport utility vehicles was a gamble that has not paid off. While sport utility vehicles remain popular, Lincoln's offerings lack the innovation and desirability that competitors bring to the table. Even the Navigator, once a trailblazer in the full-size luxury sport utility vehicle category, struggles to compete with newer models from Cadillac and European brands. For consumers, the decline of Lincoln means more than just losing another option at the dealership. It reflects a broader trend in the automotive industry, where legacy brands are increasingly at risk of being overshadowed by newcomers like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid Motors. These companies are not just producing electric vehicles, they are redefining what it means to be a luxury automaker in the 21st century. Lincoln's decline also serves as a cautionary tale for buyers. It shows how quickly a brand can lose its edge when it fails to invest in innovation and stay ahead of market trends. For those who own Lincoln vehicles, the brand's struggles may impact resale values, leaving them with cars that are harder to sell and worth less than expected. The question now is whether Lincoln can reverse its fortunes or if it is already too late. With the automotive industry evolving at an unprecedented pace, the window for change is rapidly closing. Lincoln's dealership network. Lincoln's dealership network has struggled to maintain relevance and profitability in the face of declining sales. Unlike more agile competitors like Tesla, which operates on a direct sales model, Lincoln's traditional dealership framework has hindered its ability to effectively engage with modern consumers. The outdated approach to sales and customer interaction has become increasingly misaligned with the expectations of today's luxury vehicle buyers, who demand more personalized, seamless experiences. Furthermore, Ford's broader dealership policies, which prioritize volume over exclusivity, have undermined Lincoln's luxury positioning, preventing its dealers from offering the premium services expected by high-end buyers. At Lincoln dealerships, the consumer experience falls short when compared to competitors like Tesla or luxury brands such as Mercedes-Benz and Audi. The traditional dealership model often lacks the high-end, customer-first atmosphere that today's affluent buyers expect. In contrast, Tesla's direct sales approach allows for a more streamlined, transparent experience, which resonates with buyers looking for convenience and modernity. Luxury brands that offer exclusive, concierge-style services further elevate the customer journey, setting a standard that Lincoln struggles to match. The transition to electric vehicles presents additional challenges for Lincoln's dealership network. Lincoln has no compelling electric models, leaving dealers unprepared for the growing demand for EVs. Successful brands like Audi and BMW have already adjusted their sales models to focus on EV-specific needs, training staff, and offering specialized services. Lincoln, however, remains stuck with its traditional sales infrastructure, unable to effectively compete in the rapidly evolving EV landscape. Impact on the luxury market. Lincoln's struggles are not an isolated event. They are part of a larger shift within the automotive luxury market. For decades, legacy brands like Lincoln, Cadillac, and Jaguar dominated the scene, offering vehicles that symbolize status, craftsmanship, and innovation. However, the 21st century has seen these brands increasingly overshadowed by new players and changing consumer preferences. The rise of electric vehicle-focused manufacturers like Tesla and Lucid Motors has redefined what it means to be a luxury automaker. No longer is leather upholstery and a smooth ride enough. Buyers in the luxury segment are looking for cutting-edge technology, sustainable designs, and seamless connectivity. This has left brands like Lincoln, which still relies heavily on its nostalgic appeal, struggling to compete. Consumers are feeling the impact of this shift. As traditional luxury automakers falter, fewer options are available in the marketplace. This consolidation means less competition, leading to higher prices and a narrower range of choices. For buyers who value the craftsmanship and history of brands like Lincoln, the absence of viable options forces them to look elsewhere, often to competitors who prioritize technology over tradition. What does this mean for the broader industry? If Lincoln's decline continues, it could set a precedent for other legacy brands. The fall of one major player often signals trouble for others in similar positions, creating a domino effect that reshapes the market entirely. The rise of electric giants. Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid Motors have done more than just disrupt the automotive industry. They have reshaped the luxury segment entirely. These companies are not bound by the legacies of internal combustion engines or outdated design philosophies. Instead, they are free to innovate, creating electric vehicles that feel futuristic while offering features traditional automakers struggle to match. Tesla, for instance, has mastered the art of software integration, turning its vehicles into rolling tech hubs. Lucid Motors has focused on creating luxury electric sedans that offer unparalleled range and performance, rivaling even the most established brands. Meanwhile, Rivian has carved out a niche in the electric truck and sport utility vehicle market, appealing to adventurous, eco-conscious buyers. In this landscape, Lincoln's absence is glaring. While its competitors have embraced electrification, Lincoln remains tethered to traditional platforms. This not only limits its appeal, but also signals to buyers that the brand is behind the times. Cadillac's success with its Celestiq and Lyriq models shows that legacy automakers can thrive in the electric era, but only if they are willing to take risks and innovate. For consumers, the rise of electric vehicle giants offers exciting new options, but also comes at a cost. The dominance of these companies could lead to market homogenization, where only a handful of brands control the luxury segment. This would reduce variety and potentially drive up prices, making luxury vehicles even more exclusive. Lincoln's inability to compete in this space highlights the challenges legacy brands face in adapting to new market realities. Without a significant shift in strategy, Lincoln risks becoming a cautionary tale, a once great brand that failed to evolve. Consumer shifts. The luxury car buyer of today is vastly different from the buyer of 2 or 3 decades ago. In the past, luxury was defined by size, power, and exclusivity. Today, the emphasis has shifted to sustainability, advanced technology, and brand alignment with personal values. This cultural shift has left many traditional automakers scrambling to stay relevant. For Lincoln, this change has been particularly challenging. The brand's core audience, older buyers who value tradition and comfort, has dwindled over the years. Meanwhile, younger buyers who are more likely to prioritize electric vehicles and cutting-edge technology see little reason to consider Lincoln. This generational divide has left the brand stuck between two worlds, unable to fully appeal to either group. Another critical factor is the shift in consumer behavior towards shared mobility and subscription-based models. Many younger buyers are less interested in owning a vehicle outright, especially one that lacks the technology and sustainability credentials they expect. For Lincoln, whose identity is deeply tied to personal ownership and long-term luxury, this trend poses a significant threat. The decline of Lincoln is a reflection of these broader consumer trends. It highlights how quickly the market can move away from established norms, leaving even iconic brands behind. For buyers, this means that the vehicles they grew up admiring may no longer be available, replaced by models that cater to a completely different set of priorities. A cultural loss. Lincoln is more than just a car brand. It is a symbol of American luxury and innovation. From presidential motorcades to Hollywood films, Lincoln has been woven into the cultural fabric of the United States. Its vehicles have transported world leaders, celebrities, and ordinary families, becoming synonymous with status and sophistication. The decline of Lincoln represents more than just a business failure. It marks the erosion of a cultural institution that once defined what it meant to achieve success in America. The Lincoln name carries with it a sense of history and tradition that few other brands can match. Losing it would be akin to losing a piece of the nation's identity. This cultural loss extends beyond the United States. In global markets like China, Lincoln still holds a measure of prestige, symbolizing the best of American craftsmanship. If Lincoln were to disappear, it would leave a void in the global perception of American automotive excellence. For consumers, the loss of Lincoln is deeply personal. It means saying goodbye to vehicles that have been part of family milestones, professional achievements, and cherished memories. It also raises questions about the future of other legacy brands. If Lincoln cannot survive in today's market, what does that mean for Cadillac, Buick, or Chrysler? The decline of Lincoln is a stark reminder that even the most iconic names are not immune to change. It challenges us to reflect on the value of tradition in an industry that is constantly moving forward. For those who grew up seeing Lincoln as a symbol of success, its potential disappearance feels like the end of an era. The future of Lincoln. Lincoln's struggles are not the result of a single decision or event. Instead, they stem from a series of missteps that compounded over decades, gradually eroding the brand's identity and market relevance. Understanding what went wrong requires peeling back the layers of history, strategy, and consumer sentiment that have shaped Lincoln's trajectory. One major issue has been Lincoln's failure to define a clear identity. While other luxury brands like Tesla or Cadillac have leaned into bold, forward-thinking designs and technologies, Lincoln has often relied on nostalgia to sell its vehicles. This strategy worked for a time, particularly with models like the Navigator that embodied traditional luxury. However, as the automotive industry has shifted toward electrification, sustainability, and advanced connectivity, Lincoln's reliance on its past has become a liability. Another critical misstep has been Lincoln's slow response to market trends. The rise of electric vehicles, hybrids, and compact luxury crossovers caught the brand off guard. While competitors like Lexus and Audi were introducing models that appealed to younger, tech-savvy buyers, Lincoln was focused on catering to its shrinking base of traditional customers. This left the brand with a lineup that feels dated and out of sync with modern tastes. Ford's management decisions have also played a significant role. As the parent company, Ford has struggled to prioritize Lincoln amidst its broader challenges. From canceling the Rivian partnership to underinvesting in electric vehicle platforms, Ford's actions have often hindered Lincoln's ability to innovate and compete. This lack of consistent support has made it difficult for Lincoln to execute a cohesive long-term strategy. For consumers, these failures have translated into a brand that feels disconnected and uninspired. Lincoln's vehicles are no longer seen as aspirational products, but as relics of a bygone era. This erosion of brand equity has made it increasingly difficult for Lincoln to attract new buyers or retain its existing customer base. The question on everyone's mind is whether Lincoln can stage a comeback, or if it is already too late. The answer depends on several factors, including Ford's willingness to invest, Lincoln's ability to innovate, and the brand's capacity to reconnect with consumers in a meaningful way. One potential strategy is for Lincoln to embrace electrification fully. The brand's absence in the electric vehicle space is one of its most glaring weaknesses, and addressing this gap could be the key to its revival. Lincoln could develop a flagship electric vehicle that combines cutting-edge technology with the brand's signature luxury touches. By positioning itself as a leader in sustainable luxury, Lincoln could appeal to a new generation of environmentally conscious buyers. Another avenue for reinvention lies in Lincoln's design philosophy. While its current lineup feels uninspired, the brand has a rich history of iconic designs that could serve as inspiration for future models. By reimagining classics like the Continental or the Zephyr as modern electric vehicles, Lincoln could create products that honor its legacy while looking firmly toward the future. Lincoln could also benefit from re-establishing its presence in the sedan market. While sport utility vehicles dominate sales, sedans remain a crucial segment for luxury brands, particularly in global markets like China. A sleek, high-performance electric sedan could help Lincoln regain its footing and compete with models like the Tesla Model S or the Mercedes-Benz EQS. Ultimately, Lincoln's ability to stage a comeback will depend on Ford's commitment to the brand. Reviving Lincoln will require significant investment in research and development, marketing, and dealership support. It will also require a clear and consistent vision for what Lincoln represents in the modern era. A warning for other brands. Lincoln's struggles serve as a stark warning for other legacy automakers. The automotive industry is evolving at an unprecedented pace, and brands that fail to adapt risk being left behind. Lincoln's decline highlights the dangers of relying too heavily on tradition and underestimating the importance of innovation. For brands like Cadillac, Buick, and even Chrysler, Lincoln's challenges offer valuable lessons. These automakers must recognize that the luxury vehicle market is no longer defined by plush interiors and powerful engines. Today's buyers are looking for sustainability, advanced technology, and a seamless user experience. Brands that cannot meet these expectations will struggle to remain relevant. Lincoln's story also underscores the importance of a strong parent company. While Ford has made some efforts to support Lincoln, it has often fallen short of providing the resources and vision needed for the brand to thrive. This lack of support has left Lincoln vulnerable to external pressures and internal mismanagement. For other brands, maintaining a strong relationship with their parent companies will be essential for navigating the challenges ahead. For consumers, Lincoln's struggles are a reminder of how quickly the automotive landscape can change. Brands that once seemed untouchable are now fighting for survival, and the vehicles that defined entire generations are at risk of disappearing. This shift is not just about market competition, it is about the changing values and priorities of car buyers around the world. The end or a new beginning? As Lincoln faces an uncertain future, the question remains, is this the end of an iconic brand, or can it find a way to reinvent itself? The answer is far from clear, but there are reasons for both optimism and concern. On one hand, Lincoln has the advantage of a storied history and a loyal, albeit shrinking, customer base. The brand's association with American luxury gives it a level of cultural cachet that few competitors can match. If Ford decides to invest in Lincoln's future, there is potential for a turnaround. On the other hand, the challenges facing Lincoln are immense. The brand must navigate a crowded and competitive market, adapt to rapidly changing consumer preferences, and overcome decades of mismanagement. Achieving all of this will require a level of commitment and innovation that Lincoln has not demonstrated in recent years. For consumers, the fate of Lincoln will have broader implications. If the brand can successfully reinvent itself, it could inspire other legacy automakers to take similar risks. However, if Lincoln fails, it will serve as a sobering reminder that even the most iconic names are not immune to the forces of change. Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain: Lincoln's story is not just about cars. It is about identity, resilience, and the enduring challenge of staying relevant in a world that is constantly moving forward. As we watch Lincoln's decline unfold, the automotive industry faces significant changes that will impact both legacy brands and consumers alike. With electric vehicles taking over the market, the question now is, can Lincoln survive, or is it truly the end of an era? What do you think? Will Lincoln find a way to reinvent itself, or is it too late? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts.